I'm a huge old school hip hop fan. To me, old school hip hop means like everything from the 80s and 90s. For you, it probably means like something that came out 2 years ago because you're a babby and you don't eat cereal. Huge Wu-Tang guy. Ever since I was like probably the first album came out, Enter the 36 Chambers. Huge Wu-Tang guy. I love the time Old Dirty Bastard came on stage and said Wu-Tang is for the children. I don't necessarily agree with that statement, but a company back in the day made a game called Wu-Tang Shaolin Style, which is a fighting game. We totally have to do a Let's Play of it one of these days because it's terrible. It's really, really bad. And I felt bad because like Wu-Tang themselves loved video games and they loved fighting games. They used to get around and get big bags of green, you know. They would call their friends that would bring illegal things to their apartments and then they would drink lots of, you know what they did. Yeah. So anyway, they'd get together and play fighting games and a company was like, let's make a fighting game for you guys. And when they did, they decided we're gonna make you a controller. So I actually have in my possession that controller. Now this is probably one of the, get out of here, Spider-Man. This is probably one of the like coolest looking controllers of all time. As a Wu-Tang fan, it's awesome. Like you don't really see a lot of like company logos get turned into controllers that actually still work. As a functional, practical device, this is one of the most painful things ever made.
This kind of reminds me of when people are like, yo, I love my mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of her.
Yeah.
And it's just like this weird, harrowing nightmare picture. Like, I'm sure somebody out there has a nice picture of their mother as a tattoo, but so often it does not work out well.
I've seen the Wu-Tang logo turn into a lot of weird things. People tweet, because I love pizza and I love Wu-Tang, so people tweet at me like a Wu-Tang pizza and stuff like that.
It hurts to hold it.
Yeah, one of the main things that's like really
so
interesting about this, if you want to get close up on this one, is these shoulder buttons are just the absolute worst. So they're really tiny, they're very clicky. As you can see and hear, everything is super loud on this. But also, these start and select buttons, look at those things. They're raised up.
Must
and
be
they
cold
actually,
in here.
Yeah, they look like little animal nipples. And they feel like little syringes. So this is very hard to get. There's actually, I was hunting down one of these
your nips.
a long time, and a Comedy Button fan found it and sent us one. So I haven't actually tested if it works. It looks like it's missing some of the pins.
You know what you'd probably really like is I used to have a PlayStation to USB adapter so I could play computer games using an old PlayStation controller.
Nice.
So you can hurt your hands at home now.
Yeah, so I can go play my ROM of this game because I don't mind stealing a game that no one will ever release again. I don't know if that's how that works. So this is probably the best, worst controller of all time. I'm kind of like a geek for oddities like this. Like I kind of want to set up a thing at IGN that's just like a big glass case of just like weird controllers.
Just like a zoo of trash.
Did you ever have the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller?
I remember that one. Didn't that come with a bag mask to wear?
I don't know.
A meat mask?
It came with this big box that had the window panes on the side, and there was like splattered blood all over it. And the interesting thing about it was that every single one of them had different blood splatters. But again, incredibly hard to play, and not even like hard to play video games with, hard to play Resident Evil 4 with. Like, the people didn't test it on the actual controller that it came with. So, I don't know, let us know what your weirdest, favoriteest video game controllers are. This is definitely one of mine. Wu-Tang, still not technically for the children. Rest in peace, Old Dirty Bastard. And my thumbs when I play on these little turds.
Wow.